goodness. Would you just look at the freedom in the shop right now? The Cateye is back in the shop. Skid Mark is back in the shop. And yes, I called it Skid Mark. You guys voted on Insta. We're calling it Skid Mark from now on. It's no longer just the burnout truck. But we are back at the shop and wait on Austin to get here. He's got parts that we need for Skid Mark. And I've got parts with me for Skid Mark for this 4L80 conversion. This is not the trans, this is a mock-up. It's actually broken. This was just a case that our guy gave us to get everything mocked up and made sure it fit. But today what we're doing is pretty much getting Skid Mark as close to ready for the transmission as we can. We're hoping to have it tomorrow. So today we're gonna do stuff like put the cooler on, run the trans lines, put the new flex plate on, flex plate spacer, and you know, try to do wiring. So everything that we need to do to get it ready to put the 80 in it, we're doing. And that involves a lot. So that's really gonna help us out tonight by doing that, so that way we can just throw it right in and be rocking and rolling tomorrow. So we've got a good bit to do tonight. Also, I wanna show you guys, I'm gonna go out to the Duramax and get some parts. Stuff for the 6.0 for the Cateye is coming in. It's time to get started back on that because the burnout truck is pretty much done. It has what it needs, and it's well, it'll get plenty more of my money as time goes on, but as far as big ticket purchases, it's done. So now I got to get the 6.0 running. Hey, look at that. That's a piece of it's a block right there. My goodness. That's from the OG 5.3 that blew up. So let me go get some parts to show you guys some stuff. Well, looky who just showed up. You got my parts?
Yeah, I got all the parts.
You got the goods?
Flex plate, new trans lines, new torque converter bolts.
Oh, I see.
Torque converters.
What's back here?
Spool.
What good you got? Hey, look at them converters. Do you put these in here for traction? Is that okay? That way you don't spin.
Yep, she spins.
These are the old converters. He took them to help out a friend, but that's actually the Cateye's one when it blew up, and that's a 4.8. You come out of the burnout truck, Skid Mark. I'm calling it Skid Mark now. I've already told him it's Skid Mark. So, all right, well, let's get unloaded and then we'll lay out all these parts and show them what we got. All right, so here is basically what we need. What he's playing with come from Nelson Performance. This is our plug adapter from 60 to 80. This is your second speed sensor because 80s have 2 speed sensors. Flex plate spacer. While we're talking about flex plate, boy, tell you what, Austin scooped a brand new flex plate. These are the cam bearings for the 6.0. They're not actually the burnout truck. Sorry for setting them here, but that's coming up in another video. I didn't mean to put them in the video. That is the tail shaft for we got it because the transmission, the 4L80 core we're getting was 4-wheel drive, so we needed that to be 2-wheel. The flex plate bolts and then the transmission lines. The lines needed to be significantly longer for the 80 than the 60, so we had to get new trans lines. And because the Cateye is getting the 40K cooler, we are stealing its trans cooler off and putting it onto there, and we're going to try to find a little fan to put on it too, just to increase the cooling on the 80, because we would surely not want to hurt the beautiful 4L80.
Did you show him the new converter?
I have not showed the new converter. No, that's the lot. We got to come over here because there's more stuff. So you have to get a new converter. And there's our new converter. This one is a 2800 stall. We went a little bit lower, mainly because of price point and how much higher it would have jumped up. This is the Crossmember. You have to get a different Crossmember because the 4L80 is longer. So this is your 60. Bolts in where the 60s Crossmember does, but extends it back so you can put the 80 in it. So that's a mouthful, but that is what it's going to take. That's everything it takes to swap it over. And what in the world are we looking at here? If you exclude the cost of the transmission, just like the components to do it, it's got to be converter. We're 500. We're 160 on the Crossmember. $60 flex plate.
No, I got, so this is my prices. So you're probably looking at about 80 to 90 for the flex plate, and then probably about one trans line is going to be about 60 to 70. The other one is about 40 to 50. So obviously I got them cheaper than that, and then these are, I think these are like $18 freaking dollars
for just the bolts.
For just the flex
spacer was like $10.
Yeah.
That was 80. What, $900?
Yeah.
$800, $900 just to get to where you couldn't even put the 80 in the truck. So
and then the cost of building.
Then the cost of building the 80, buying the 80. I'm making it my mission to make sure that I never get the message again that all you had to do was swap an 80. That is a salty subject with me.
We have been doing like research on research on research, and all the comments that say, "Oh, just throw it up in there."
No,
I wish it was that easy, but we got our work cut out for us for sure.
Yeah, and you know what? The people that make the comment have no idea, and hopefully they find this video, they find this series of videos, and understand that you can't just throw an 80 in a half-ton truck. It just doesn't work that way.
Oh, drive shaft.
Oh gosh, okay, $1,000, $1,100.
So I went and saw the drive shaft due today, and I got to take the old drive shaft that was in this so they can order a slip yoke for it. That right there, I mean, that's another big chunk. I don't even know how much that's going to cost us yet, but
if I had to throw a number out there, if say your 60 is trash or starting from scratch, I'll know more than that.
More than that, $3 grand.
$3 grand to $4 grand, depending on who does the work and where you get it from. Easy to put the 80 in your truck.
And that's doing everything 100% right. Like, that's doing it.
Yeah, that's not cutting corners like, with some bullcrap parts.
We're doing this 100%. Like, I'm repinning the ECU. I think that's the hardest thing that we have to do. Because I gotta plug in those two speed sensor wires, so which shouldn't be hard.
No, we'll get it figured out. I've done it for the E-fans on the Cateye, so I've done it before too. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna run and get something to eat, and then we're gonna come back and we're gonna put the flex plate on. We're gonna get the trans lines run through. The trans lines are gonna be a breeze. Thank God. Without having the trans in there,
we need to heat tape.
And no header, and we're gonna put some heat tape on these things just because of how close they are to the header. We should be able to pop those right in, and we'll try to get the trans cooler out of the Cateye without breaking it. They're known for the lines getting seized in them and then ripping them off. We've actually already tried to pull one out of a scrap yard and broke it in the scrap yard, so we'll be extra careful with that. So I'll pick up the camera in just a minute. All right, guys, so just got the trans cooler swapped over from the Cateye over to Skidmark, and got the line that comes from the cooler itself over to the radiator off the Cateye. I'll get new ones because we're doing the 40K, so it's not a big deal. But I got this line in there, got to tighten this down. We've got the two new lines. What those two lines are running to the radiator, which is the integrated trans cooler within the radiator. Now, Austin is down here with the flex plate, and looks like I had a little bit of confusion on some parts. We don't actually need what we thought. Why is there not a fuel cell in this thing yet? You want to explain to the people what the deal is?
All right, so if you go to a 4L80 flex plate, you don't need the adapter to bolt it up to the motor. So I think happened is if you want to bolt a 6.0 or 4L60 to a 6.0, you got to have that adapter for the flex plate. But if you're doing a 4L80 swap, you don't need the adapter. The flex plate will bolt right up to it, and you won't have any issues. And then you can slip your torque converter in and everything will be good.
I guess one thing to check is, will the starter still line up right? Now that
it didn't push it. So, okay, so the flex plates aren't bigger. The amount of torque converter bolts are different. So the 4L80s use 8 torque converter bolts, and the 4L60s, I'm sorry.
6.
The 4L80s use 6 torque converter bolts, and the 4L60s use 3 torque converter bolts. So the size, and I think the amount of teeth on them are gonna be the same. But that's the torque converter bolts are the only thing that's different on them. Okay. So you should be good.
All right, well, we got that on, and I just put the cooler and the lines on. Once you get that tight, I'm gonna fish them lines down to you.
Okay.
All right. Alrighty, guys, so Austin and I just run the new trans lines. They're hooked into the cooler and then the one into the radiator, and just run underneath there for now. They're unclipped so we can maneuver them and make sure we got them in the right spot. Austin is reading up on the secondary speed sensor. Do they actually tell you where it goes?
Yeah, so where is it at? Where's the wiring harness?
It's oh, here it is. Not next to the Hardys.
All right, so the 4L80's got they have 2 speed sensors, so you have to add this second one. So you're either gonna have a red or green connector on the PCM. This wire, the red wire, is gonna go into pin 22, and this blue wire is gonna go into pin 23. If you don't know how to repin an ECU, kind of do your research on it, because you can mess it up, but it's not that hard. You just got to punch through the rubber
and make sure you get it all the way in there. And I had this problem when I did the electric fans on the Cateye. That little indention right there, if that doesn't click in, it's not connected and it won't work. So that's extremely important.
I'm gonna crawl up under there,
and they gave us
and do this.
You know, and this is just running the main harness from the 60 to the 80. I don't know if our demo here has. No, it doesn't have his electronics. But, well, do you want to lift the computer up out of it tonight and do it? It's one less thing we got to do.
Yeah.
We still got daylight, so we might as well do it. Not that it matters, but it's just nice working with the door open in the daylight. Alrighty guys, so we have got the plugs out of the ECU, and what we're going for is the red one right here. It's either, was it red or green?
Yeah,
just depends on the year.
And then you're gonna take this little plastic cover off. It's got 2 tabs right there, 2 tabs right there, and then 2 final right there. And that bolt will just slip right out.
And then you're looking for number
pin 22 and 23.
And there's numbers.
So
it's gonna be hard to see, but there are numbers.
So pin, I keep forgetting. We're gonna make sure it's right.
Well, this gives me an opportunity to show them. I don't know if you can see them. The camera's gonna focus. There's little tiny numbers all the way across that tell you the numbers. The ones we're going for are gonna be these down here on the very end. It looks like 20. What? Actually, it's right here. 22 and 23 is right there. And those are the 2 you're going to be going for.
All right, so on this speed sensor, you have a red and blue wire. The red one goes into pin 22, and the blue one goes into pin 23. Make sure you get that right. Basically, you're going to take it.
You want to poke through it first? We think a little pick to it. That could be easier.
Yeah. There's like a piece of rubber in there. No, I'm going to have to do it straight with the pen. So you have to make sure it is all the way in there.
And that's where it gets hard, because once the metal gets down in there.
You got it in there. Should not come out very easy. It's going to stay in there. Then you're going to take the blue one and stick it into pin 23. It might take a little bit to poke through that little rubber. There's like a rubber grommet on each hole. Kind of waterproof them. There you go.
Right through the rubber.
Now we're through. And then you just stick it all the way in there. Make sure that all the metal is inside the plastic housing. And then you're done.
That's what you got. So the biggest thing to remember there is you got to get through the rubber, and then what you do, you got to get all the way in there.
And then make sure you put your plastic cap back on, and obviously tighten it down.
And then, you know, get it back into your ECU the right way, and put your cover back on your transmission. I mean, the computer there, and then you can run the wires back down through whatever, the frame rail or the loom or whatever, back to the transmission. Alrighty guys, so that is going to end for today's video, because we've done as much as we can do without having the transmission. So on the next video we will have the 4L80 and we'll be putting it in. We've done all the prep work, so we just need the trans back, and then we can get back down here and put it in and start rocking and rolling. So I appreciate you guys watching. Drop any comments you got down below. Don't forget to follow me over on Instagram at Austin04_Z71. Take care. Have a great day. Oh boy, cannot wait to get that back in the truck.